Hi everyone, so I am doing my first reading vlog and that will be The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Now this is book one. I'm gonna read all of them in the vlog, but this is just like book one from the series, and my plan is to like maybe read a couple of chapters, come back to you guys, tell you how I feel, what I'm thinking, where I'm at, and then I was hoping to do non-spoiler, but I don't feel like it's going to end up that way. It probably will end up as a spoiler review, like a vlog. I'm really sorry. If you haven't read it, maybe don't watch it because I'm not sure what's going to happen. Possible spoilers maybe, I don't know. And then obviously at the end of like the book, I will give you my overall rating, I guess. What I felt at the end of the books as well. And then maybe like at the end in my final thoughts, like wrap up, it'll be like what I gave them all, so if my feelings still stay the same, and what I thought of the whole series overall maybe. So I'm gonna kickstart this off with The Housemaid. I'm starting this on this, yeah, so I'm starting this on a Thursday. Let's see how long it takes me to read the whole series. Normally I can get through most books in 2 days, which is all right for me, I guess, because I do a lot of stuff at home as well. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm hoping to get a couple in. As you can see, my light is on because I've just finished another book just before this one. I wanted to make sure that was finished first, and yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we go well. I'm not sure how many chapters there were. How many were there? Let's have a look quickly. Like 62 chapters, so maybe every 10 or so chapters I come back and give you my thoughts on what I'm thinking, maybe, perhaps, like unless something like crazy happens, I'm like, I just have to say it. I kind of want to keep most of my, like, I'll write down what I'm thinking as I'm thinking it so I can say it to you guys. I do have another phone here, and I'm recording you on my phone because I haven't got the vlogging camera yet, so I'm so sorry guys if the screen is this big. Other than that, yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'm just gonna do my first reading vlog. Please forgive me if it's not that great. I am still learning, guys. This is the first time. I haven't even done it for TikTok yet, so yeah. I hope that we will enjoy this together. See you soon, guys. Okay, so I have read the first 10 chapters, which, by the way, was super crazy. Like, as I was reading, I was writing down like general thoughts and notes, which I thought I'd say to you guys. I've only read 10 chapters this at the moment. I'm using my Buffy bookmark because I'm rewatching the Buffy show as well at the same time. So, from what I'm getting so far is the book is pretty much in third person. Like, we don't get first person POV, which always seems to throw me off. I'm just obviously in part one, which follows Millie, who is applying for a job as a housemaid for the Winchester family, but she doesn't seem to believe that she was going to get the job straight away. She seems to think that because of her past, which you do find out in the first 10 chapters, that she's been in prison. Don't know why, just know that part. Yeah, she spent like 10 years in prison, and I do hope that we get to find out what actually happened there. And then, so what, when she starts, the landscaper gardener warns her that she's in danger. She has a room with a lock on the outside, and she notices on the inside that there's nail marks in the wall, like scratch marks. Okay. And that her window is kind of painted closed. That's just weird. So I'm looking at my notes as well at the same time, and I've got the cat here too now, so that's even worse. Also, just Nina, who is the wife that she works for, so far from what I can tell, she's a bit different. There's obviously something there. Maybe her husband has cheated on her and she's really paranoid about like that, because I did notice that she gets like really possessive and like it felt like she was kind of like staking claim to him a little bit. And yeah, so like even like when he invited Millie to have dinner with them, she was like, no, she's fine, she wants to go to her room and text. Calm down, you don't need to be like that. That's not really something you needed to do. I also noticed that Nina deliberately didn't tell her certain things. Example, allergies, where she accidentally nearly gave her daughter some peanut butter, not knowing that she was allergic to peanuts or nuts in general. That was a bit... And she was like, don't forget anything important again. The next important thing I would imagine that she'd forgotten was the fact that this kid only eats chicken nuggets. Like, only eats chicken nuggets. And Pacific, like, Pacific type of nugget. So that doesn't help. And I know she didn't mention that either. And then she gives her clothes. And then she was like, oh, don't leave garbage bags lying around. But you're the one that filled the bag. And I'm not even... I just feel like this, like, I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like there's something deeper going on here. Like, why was she really hired? The guy seems like he does a lot. Like, the husband, he does a lot of stuff in the house. Why did they hire her? I'm not sure. And now I feel like there's, like, some weird stuff that's about to happen. Overall, I'm not very fond. I'm hoping that, like, maybe we find out more about what's going on with this Nina. Because she's really... And then, yeah, just to also point out that steak dinner, my mouth was watering the whole time. I was super jealous. I really want a steak dinner with some potatoes right now and broccoli. Pretty sure that my dinner right now is going to be ramen. So, with broccoli as well. So, maybe part way there. But yeah, so far my thoughts are I'm so confused on what's happening. I know that Freedom McFadden is, obviously this is a thriller, so I know it's not going to be straight off the bat obvious, but I do feel like maybe like that plot twist that's probably going to happen should have been more obvious. But I'm not really a thriller reader, so it really is going to be like crazy, oh my gosh, for me probably. But yeah, so far I am enjoying it. Yeah, so let's see how it goes for the next couple of chapters, shall we? Oh Lord. Hi everyone, so as you can see, new day. I read a little bit, but then the other half came home, we had dinner, and then yeah, I read upstairs. So I did carry on with the Housemaid. So as a brief thought, I'm wondering if maybe why Nina acts so weird around, like, about things is because where she has some mental illness. I don't know what it is, obviously. Otherwise I would have said it. But like, where she finds out that she was in a mental institution and that she tried to kill herself and Cecilia. That was a bit, I don't know, I feel a bit, like, I don't think she would have done that personally, but I mean, I don't know. We're only going by what we hear. Also, the daughter, as well as like Cecilia and Nina, both give me like the wiggies. I don't know, something doesn't feel right about them. I'm not sure what it is. I just don't feel 100% about it. I also feel like that the gardener, landscaper, whatever you want to call him, I feel like he knows more than he's letting on. Like, he seems fully terrified of Nina, which is very strange. So maybe he knows a lot more than he's saying. And I do kind of feel bad for them that they went to the fertility clinic, Nina and Andrew, and Nina can't get pregnant. So obviously, and then in the argument with him later on that evening, she says that she's too old. I don't know how old she is because it doesn't say. It hasn't said how old she is. But I feel bad because, like, the people that she calls her friends were all talking about her behind her back. I was like, what a bunch of... No, not a word I want to use. Witches. What a bunch of witches. Why would you do that about someone? He got something to say. Some input. The other half is here today. That's why. But yeah, like, that was, I don't know. Like, they were like going about her weight, that she's too fat. They thought that she was honestly pregnant already because of how much she was eating. Rude. You shouldn't be. Girls need to support girls. If she wants to eat 5 lots of little tiny hors d'oeuvres, let her eat 5 lots of little tiny hors d'oeuvres. Who cares? Honestly. And then they were going about how she's crazy, and then they were like, oh well, she shouldn't have hired a pretty hot, attractive young nanny because now, or housemaid, because, you know, she's obviously not, like, she doesn't want the husband to stray or whatever. I was like, this woman is already jealous. You can see it in pretty much most of the times where Millie is around and Andrew's around. And then, like, after the argument, she was, like, not budging about knowing that he was okay. So that probably didn't do her any good. I don't know, I feel like she's gonna get locked in the room at some point, for real. I don't know when, but she will get locked in there at some point. And like, maybe when Nina decides to kill Andrew, maybe that's what's gonna happen. I don't know, I'm just theories. She's gonna kill Andrew, and then she's gonna lock Nina upstairs, Millie upstairs, and then she'll open the door and be like, oh my god, Millie, help me. Something stupid like that. You could just see it turning that way, couldn't you? Yeah, so I'm probably about 1/4 of the way through, maybe. That I've read up to chapter 21. And I just feel like there's a lot of emphasis on her mental health. So, but maybe she's not even crazy. Like, maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe he makes her feel that way. Because it was only after she got with him as well. So I don't know. I feel like there's more to this story than we know right now. And I'm just like trying to get little snippets of information and work things out as I go along. So we'll have to see. I think my next update will literally be like the halfway mark at after chapter 31. And then we'll see where we are at there. So yeah. Okay, so I'm about halfway. Give or take, about halfway. And from what I'm getting so far is there's definitely something about Nina that I do think is off 100%. I feel like Millie is being used as some kind of scapegoat for something, I'm not sure. And Andrew is a complete douche. He cheated on Nina and was like, I don't regret it, but it can never happen again. Excuse you? Why were you so like, I don't regret cheating? So, yeah. What I'm getting so far at the halfway mark, which is where I am, is that I really don't like Andrew. I'm really confused on this whole Nina thing. I feel like there's more to this story for Nina than we're knowing right now. Like, maybe she's being secretly drugged by Andrew and she believes something different's going on. I don't know. Or maybe he's actually secretly abusive. Like, behind closed doors, you never know what really happens, right? And I feel like Millie's kind of caught in the crossfires. I do feel bad now that Nina has mentioned that she was in prison. Like, I didn't think Nina knew. So I felt kind of bad for her for there. And then, like, Nina set her up in the shop. That felt kind of like, that was a very beep move of you. That was not nice. So, and then, but like I said, I do feel like Nina's using Millie as a scapegoat. So, like, maybe she knows that the cheating happened and she's gonna play on that a little. Like, she is playing on it now, obviously. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's more to this story than what we're seeing. And it's definitely keeping me on edge. Like, I'm just so excited to read, like, what's gonna happen. And I'm really not a thriller person normally. You can ask Darren over there somewhere. He would tell you I'm normally fantasy, and I've only just got into like romance last year. So reading thrillers is not normally my thing. I normally end up DNFing like before I get to the halfway mark because I get bored of them, or I just can't get into them. But I did get into this one. I'm actually really enjoying it. Yeah, so overall, I just feel like there's more to this than we're seeing, and I really want to know what's happening, and I feel really silly because I'm pretty sure everyone knows what's going to happen, and I'm the one that's like, what's going to happen? So yeah. Also, I worked out, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get them all 4 books in one video. I'm not sure if I'll be able to because sometimes I kind of drown on a bit. So might end up in 2 parts, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, for now, my update is I'm really confused. I feel like there's more, like Nina knows a lot more than she's saying. And there's something suspicious about that for me. Millie's being used as some kind of scapegoat. I don't know why. And I really don't like Andrew. That's where we're at right now, at the halfway mark. I feel bad for Nina and I feel there's more to her story. Millie's being used as a scapegoat. And I don't like Andrew. He's a douche. So yeah, that's where we are. Let's see where we end up. Okay, so I've now got like probably about a quarter left. And from what I've got now, I've just finished like part 1 where he locked her in the room. So yeah, I was a bit unexpected with that. I mean, I did feel like Andrew was a bad guy, but I didn't think he was that kind of bad. And now I've read some of part 2, which is all in Nina's POV, and it's kind of like from past, so you get like that past bit of her life with him, where she meets him, where they get married, and then he locks her in the room, tells her to rip out strands of her hair. Like, I mean, he convinced her she's crazy, but the reality is I feel like he's just like evil crazy. Like, he's a mastermind of evil right now, like, and he's done it again to Millie as well, locked her in the room. I wonder how long it's going to be until we get to what happens there. But like, where I've just finished, it's where he's locked her in the room the second time, and he was like, this is our life now. You're going to be the perfect wife, and, you know, if you don't comply, your daughter's basically going to get hurt. And yeah, no one's going to believe you anyway. Like, wow. That I want to literally reach my hand into the book pages and just like, what the hell? Wasn't really expecting it that bad. But what freaked me out more is like where she points out, like even Millie pointed out in her like the first part was that Nina always wears white. And then Nina points out that Andrew's favourite colour on her is white because it's what his mum wears. He got moody about the blonde hair thing, but his mum's hair used to be blonde. So now is he going to enforce that on Millie as well? Make her dye her hair blonde and lock her in a room and make her rip out 100 strands if she don't do it or whatever. It's super crazy. This is getting crazy. I feel like I'm literally going crazy just reading it. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Don't know what it says about me. I do like dark romance though, so I mean, crazy is kind of the thing here. But I mean, like, I'm enjoying the fact that we get more background on it. So hopefully we'll find out why Millie was in prison as well, maybe. So I'm going to try to finish this off and then hopefully get back to you today. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, give you my final thoughts on this one and then start part 2. So I just finished. Wow, honestly, it wasn't what I thought. I had to take a minute before I even come talk to you about what I read, so I can also give you like my final thoughts at the same time. It just turned really crazy. So from when the last I spoke to you is that we find out like Andrew has been locking Nina in the room, and he did it obviously to Millie at the end of her part. So then I get to like part 3 where they're sharing. So in this time, Nina has tried escaping. He got her locked up several times by the sounds of it. And basically he's using her daughter to keep her controlled. So that was a bit weird, but there you go. And then, like, so we went back into the present time where Millie is now locked in the room, and he told her to put books on, like, heavy books and stuff because she left them on the table. I mean, it was like, by the end of it, it was like a whole different Millie. By the time that they were done, like, do I feel bad that she locked him in the room? No. Do I feel bad that she made him do exactly what he made her do? No. Do I feel bad that she made him pull out his own teeth? No. Do I feel bad she left him there to basically starve and die of thirst? No. Am I sad he's dead? No. Like, I feel like that was karma justice, and that was the real reason why Nina had hired her anyway. Well, it wasn't at first, but it ended up that way. And then I knew Nina was gonna leave, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna leave her, and she's just gonna end up in the house with this dead body. That's not what happened. She come back and she was like, right, you go and pretend you haven't been here all week, and I'll say that I was here all week. And then the detective, that was even a better shocker, was that his daughter was the one that was before Nina, not wife, but they were engaged. So he kind of covered it all up anyway, and that was nice. And then there was like, so Nina covered for Millie, and then the funeral where his mum was like, I pulled out his pliers when he was his teeth with pliers when he was a baby, thinking he would learn to brush them. I'm so glad you stepped up. I was like, whoa. So that's where he gets that from. Okay, makes sense. Very psychotic family. And then right at the end, she helps Millie get a new job with someone else who's being abused by her husband by the sounds of it. So is that like her thing? Is that how all the others are going to be? Is like there's something wrong with the other half and she kind of like saves the wife? Is that how? I hope that's how it kind of goes down. I am intrigued to see how it goes. I have now obviously thinking about this one. I was so surprised for the ending. I mean, like, the whole mum thing threw me off. I was like, it makes perfect sense that why he likes women dressing like her, why he likes their hair to be like hers, because that is obviously what she's like kind of like bred into him. So like that's what she's enforced on him with her own punishment. So naturally he's just going with what he knows. But that doesn't excuse his behaviour. That was bad. But then killing him maybe wasn't a great idea either. But there you go. There we are. For me, I'm not a big person for thriller or anything like that, so I gave it a 4.5 stars. I really did enjoy it. I don't think it's gonna like live in my brain for the whole year. Like I'll probably eventually like be like, oh yeah, I did read it. Like I might have to remember parts of it that I enjoyed the most. But overall, it was a really fun read and I really enjoyed it, and I'm super excited to get to the second book. So, which I do have right here. So I will be starting this one. This has like 75 chapters, which is crazy. So I'm going to try and break it into 3 parts for us. So we like read 25 chapters a time before I come back to you guys, because I just want to get enough done. But I don't know if I'll be reading any this evening now, because I want to go and eat and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But right now I'm just astounded by what I read. I can't get over it from the first one, and I hope the second one's just as good. It does say on the back that she's hired by by the Garricks, and that the wife has never been seen. She knocks on the door one day and everything just kind of changes. It says that he's done something wrong and he's gonna pay for it. Just it's simply a question of how far am I willing to go. So I feel like that's her thing. She's just like going around saving abused women. That's gonna be the thing, isn't it? Which is actually really great of a twist that I didn't see coming for her. It was like when she went to jail, it was for defending her friend because a guy was forcing himself on her and she just battered his head in and she just didn't want to stop. She might have got a bit too enthusiastic with that there. So, I mean, she obviously has a dark like side to herself that even maybe she doesn't want to acknowledge. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess. And I'm actually super excited to read this one. I was definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I would in the first one. So hopefully we'll enjoy this one. Let's see. Okay, so I have read like, we'll say like the first third of the book. And oh my gosh. So she had, from the sounds of it, Millie has been jumping job from job. And then the employer she had at the beginning sacks her or fires her because the baby started calling her mum. I'm sorry, I can't even, like, what? How can you be mad about that? Because it's not the baby's fault. It's literally the mum who keeps putting her off onto everyone else. that was definitely not a nice way to get fired from your job. Also, it was nice to see, or it is nice to see still currently, that Millie is in a normal relationship with a normal guy who actually is a lawyer, or studying to be a lawyer. I couldn't quite tell the difference there. That was quite nice too, that she's having a normal life. And then I have to say, the interview where for the job that she's getting with the Garricks, so she interviewed with Douglas Garrick. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it felt really weird and off. There was definitely something really weird about it. I'm not quite sure about that. And then to add to it, we've got someone following Millie around. Like, who could that be? I know that there's, like, where I'm at, she thought it was one person, but she's still getting that sensation, which just feels really ridiculous. Like, she shouldn't be feeling that. And then it's nice to see that she's still very vigilant as a person. It's nice that she's at college or whatever you want to call it, school, to get some more education to become a social worker. That's really great. I'm a bit disappointed that she hasn't told the current boyfriend about her little bit of the past, even though he wants her to move in with him. I also got frustrated when she was attacked by her neighbour, and the police turned around and was like, well, actually, we could actually arrest you because they saw you attacking him. She was just defending herself. That was literally self-defense. Okay, maybe kicking him 3 times wasn't self-defense. But you know what, though? You can't just grab a girl and push her into a wall and brush your body up on her like that. That's just wrong. So, I mean, I get that him falling down the stairs was not good. And, like, I don't know. I feel like she went a bit too far with the kicking thing. Like, she could have just left him. He already got maced in the face and fell down the stairs. You don't need to kick him while he's down. But you know what? It's Millie. She has violent tendencies. She. And then I really wished we got to see Enzo and Millie as a couple. She does point out that they were a couple for a while. So I like myself. That they were a couple for a little while, and he had to go back to Sicily because his mum had a stroke. I think it was. So that was really sad. I really wish we got to see that part. Like, it would have been nice to see them as a couple. I didn't think he was interested in her because, like, he had a lot of things to say in Italian in the first one. I'm honestly surprised. I thought this was going to follow the first one. Like, I thought it was going to be, like, the same family throughout the whole series. I'm not going to lie. So seeing that it's a different family here, so it makes me wonder if, like, not the next one, because I'm pretty sure, well, maybe even the next one has something different in it. Because the next one is, after it's the wedding, so it's like a novella. So, but where we're at now is that Millie confronted her employer Douglas about how he got her number, because she found out that her ad didn't go online because she didn't pay. So she's asking how he got it. He said the wife gave it to him. So she's asked the wife, and the wife told her she got it from someone else who Millie had helped. So she was like, so that's why you wanted me to come here, so I can help you. And at first the wife was like, no. Although she's being abused. And now we've got to literally the part where she was like, I need your help. Like, I want to leave. So that's where we are now. And it was really interesting to see how the woman went from leave me alone, like, you know, just walk away, to, yeah, if you're willing to help me, I need your help. So... Power it off. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
That was your speaker. I got Darren a speaker for Christmas, which he uses, and he just had it on, and had it on charge, and it just turned itself off.
God, sorry.
Anyway, I'm going to read the next 25 chapters, which will put me probably about 2/3 of the way through the book, and we'll see where we are then. But at the moment, I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to go, how Millie's going to help her, because it does seem like this Douglas guy, he's a lot more possessive of what's his than, say, I I can't remember the guys from the first one, whatever his name was, Andrew was. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen there. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm back. So, new day, as you could probably tell. Reflection on my glasses. I'm so sorry. The best place to film is right in front of my window, because it's the best light in the room, as you could probably tell from the back there. So, honestly, it's a grey day, and yeah, it's just crazy. The cat has decided that he wants to walk all over my table and all over my stuff. But yeah, and Darren isn't here because he's at work, so hopefully no more speaker issues. He did say sorry so much yesterday after that. So we are on the next set of chapters to 50, so we're like third of the way through. No, 2/3 of the way through. And from here we are it just feels really like hinky so far. You know, like the reservations for the car was changed from grey to red. That just felt so weird. Like, why was it changed? I mean, I know it can happen all the time, but in a situation like this, that just felt really weird and hinky. Probably just a coincidence though, because it wasn't brought up again. So and the car that's following her around, it was so great that it was actually Enzo. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that he called Brock broccoli. That made me laugh hilariously. And then the fact that she did it as well was like, no, I mean, yeah, that was hilarious. I feel like it was really great to see that she helped Wendy get out of that environment. But then Wendy calls her the next day and is like, oh, he brought me back. But I don't even think, it just feels weird. Like, how would he have known where to go? I'm not sure. I felt that was really weird. I can't remember. I've got like loads of notes and I'm just trying to get where I'm getting. So also I wanted to point out that Millie had noticed that she was quite thin, but in the moment that she's serving dinner and he says, oh, don't put this on her plate, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense now. But the reality is, you know, it is what it is. Guys like, oh, like that, I guess. So from where I'm at, it's now Brock's broken up with her because she's been arrested for the murder because she was trying to protect Wendy and she shot Douglas. And at the end of this, and although she told him she loves him, it just wasn't enough. But Enzo, she hasn't spoken to him since the moment he dropped her home. But Wendy said she would help cover it up, but she didn't. In fact, she insisted that Millie was having an affair with Douglas. That was a bit, And then they took her to the police station. She told Brock about, I was maybe calling him Broccoli myself. Told Brock about her prison record, and then she was accused of having an affair, and he just kind of went a bit like, it all makes sense. Like, what? No! Bad! You sort of slap him on the nose, like, bad! And then at the end of, like, where I got to, like, in that set, it was that the picture that it showed of Douglas wasn't the one of the guy that she shot. So who does she shoot if she didn't shoot Douglas? I guess I'm going to find out because I'll be reading the next set. So let's see, shall we? Oh my. So part 2 is all Wendy's POV, which was, wow. I forgot to mention it at the end of the other one, my other update, was that I did get a few snippets in there of Wendy's POV from just a couple of chapter, like 1 or 2. But oh my gosh, I don't think I like Wendy. I can't believe she used Millie like that. So from what I've got is that she'd had like lunch with one of her friends after she'd trapped Douglas in a marriage anyway. She was also kind of half starving herself anyway. So the food thing wasn't even a thing because that's how she would have had it anyway. Says a lot. But it was just the fact that one of her friends had mentioned about the other lady that Millie had helped and was like, yeah, she'll do anything to keep a woman safe. So then that's what you thought it was appropriate to do this. To trick someone into killing somebody. And it turned out it wasn't even her husband that Millie had shot. And it wasn't even a real shot. She didn't kill the guy. Wendy killed her own husband. We never even met Douglas. In the whole time. Wasn't even Douglas. It was the guy she was cheating on him with. The hell. In part 3, I like that we have it all like back in Millie's POV. This is where she's like calls Enzo in and he's come to help her and they end up sleeping together. All spice or anything like that is all closed door anyway, so it doesn't distract from the story itself. That was hella funny. I was laughing. Like, honestly, the way he was like, so he won't punch me in the eye, in the nose or anything? And she's like, no, but I might. And he's like, I'll take my chances. That was funny. I like the way that, I'm glad that, like, I like the way that we get to see, like, Team Enzo and Millie. Like, she did mention before that they worked really great as a team. So I feel like maybe we're going to get to see that now. Overall, I feel like we didn't really get to see him as a team. I like the fact that he was like, oh, I know a guy to help her. That didn't really come through too much. All that came through was the cabin, which she then there was like part 5, right? No, part 4, sorry, is in duo POV. And so it ends with, part 3 ends with Millie taking Enzo's keys to his car and leaving. So we assume that she's gone now to the cabin to find out what the hell has happened. Why was she set up? But then in part 4, it kind of goes straight into Wendy's POV again, where she's in the cabin with Russell, sorry, his real name. And they're drinking champagne and drinking wine. And I'm like, wow. I love how Karma got her back with the, oh, but you're not in the will anymore. He updated it. I'm sorry. So you're still broke. So divorcing him, you would have got nothing. You killed him, you got nothing. That's called karma. That was funny. Also, I noticed that they put a thing on the window being open. Did Millie climb through the window was my first thought. I cannot believe the whole thing that untangled. At first, I seriously did think it was Millie walking around. And it weren't. It was Russell's actual wife. Because he was also having an affair. It was both of them cheating on their spouses. She slit his throat. Nothing worse than a woman scorned. So, women's wrongs, yes. Okay, you got to support women. But, I mean, even there, Wendy was like, oh, well, I still feel I was better for him than her. Girl, you know that she just slit his throat and left him in the bathtub. Don't put yourself on a high pedestal now. I love that she made her write a confession and that at the end Millie was like exonerated and she got to keep her apartment because she was going to get kicked out, and her and Enzo are together and living together. And like even with Brock, things ended kind of well. I was so glad about all of that. And I'm glad that with the suicide note that the other wife made Wendy write kind of got, it got like Millie in the clear, so she was no longer a suspect. But what the hell, I did not expect to see that actually the woman was the bad guy. And I understand why Millie was like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to do this kind of thing anymore. And I'm so glad that the police officer was like, yeah, so you actually have a reputation around here. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're like a hero. you help women when we don't, and you know, it's really great that you've been doing that. Here's my number. I have resources that can help you, so count me as one of your resources. And that was so cute because all the way through she was like, if I only had a guy. And now she's kind of got a guy. She's like, wait, just to be clear, we're not this isn't flirtatious, right? It's like, no, I'm too old for you. It was really great to see that someone recognized what she's been doing, even though it's like outside the law kind of thing. Because I mean, she's not helping them exactly always legitimately, such as she has to get them like a fake ID and stuff and get them out of the country. So it was nice to see that there is someone still that sees that and is willing to help. So that was great. And the ending with them moving in together was so cute. I'm honestly excited. The next one to read is Housemaid, which is only a short one, so you should also get my little kind of like snippet review for that today. Overall, I gave this a 4.5 star. I really did love it. I honestly, when I went into it, I thought, oh gosh, I originally thought it was going to follow the same family. Like, she was still going to be with Nina and Cecilia. Like, that she was going to end up back with them. She didn't. It's a whole different family, so I'm assuming that the last one is also a different family. I haven't read any of them. I haven't read their synopsis or anything. I don't read the blurbs or anything on them originally. Picked them up because I remember someone to mention they were really good. Anyway, I was really pleasantly surprised at how it went. Like, at first, honestly, I was just like, oh my gosh. So instead of him locking her in a room, he's just beating her. And I was like, great. Like, literal domestic abuse. That's just what you need right up your alley. I mean, I know that that does happen in real life. I know that. But I was like, this is really not what... I mean, we went from like... I don't know, I felt like it wasn't the same as the original one with that part. But then, like, the whole table turned it turned out that realistically it was actually the wife that was the issue. I mean, she kept saying that he was abusive because he wasn't giving her money and stuff. And I was like, but you could work and earn your own money. You want to be a lazy, rich beep. So, and he knows that you're cheating on him, so of course he's going to cut you off. Yeah, that twist I didn't see coming, and I didn't even see the fact that the man that she killed wasn't even the husband. I was, my whole brain just, that was, yeah. So I did this for my bingo that I've got in my book journal, and it's for thriller, obviously, and I did it for book-based bingo with a book with a red cover, because it does have a red cover. So overall, it was still 4.5. There were some parts that I felt slacked a little, but then there were other parts that really made up for that. So I still feel like it was a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I do feel like it's something I would recommend. Like, I'd recommend it to my mum to read. Because my mum's really into thrillers as well. I noticed that when I was looking through some of her books, she does tend to lean more towards thrillers or like YA fantasies. Like, you know, I was like, And I picked up a book for her at a free library when I was walking with my nephew, and I was like, this is a thriller, but it's like a historical thriller mystery type thing. Right up her alley. It sounded like something she would enjoy. So I picked it up and took it home to her. But I do feel like I could recommend this to a few people that have never read it. Like, doesn't even normally read thriller. This is a really great so far series. And I don't even think realistically you have to read them in tandem with each other. Because if you don't read the first one, I mean, you don't get the background that you get in that one. But you still find out, like, when she tells the boyfriend why she was in prison. She tells, then there's she does mention about Enzo as well, and she says that she'll never get in a relationship with someone because she did that before, that she used to work for. So you don't really need the first one if you don't want to read it, but I did like it. It was a great follow on, like, to read it in the order. I'm also OCD, so I can't not read them in order. Have to read them in order. Gets a bit hinky in my head otherwise. Like, my OCD starts kicking my brain and like, you're doing it wrong. So yeah, there's that. But overall, I really did enjoy it. It was such a great read, and honestly, I didn't want to put it down. So it was definitely a well-deserved 4.5 star. I'm being very stingy with my 5 stars this year. 5 stars this year for things that will live in my brain rent-free. From 4 to 5 are ones I really enjoyed and loved. And then under that, it just keeps going down after that. Like 3 to 4 is probably ones I liked. 2 to 3 are probably ones I could probably have done without reading. And 1's are ones I probably should have DNF'd but didn't. Like 1 to 2s. Anyway, so this was a 4.5. I really did enjoy it, and I'm super excited to get to the next one. And you should be able to see my thoughts on that anyway. I'm just gonna read the whole book on that one, and yeah, I'm just gonna read the whole thing because it's only like 60 pages, and then come back to you and give you my thoughts as I'll write them down anyway, so you can see what my thoughts are. You'll probably still see my reactions because it'll still be straight up fresh reaction as always. Yeah, so I guess we'll see you soon, guys. Okay, so I've read it all, like the whole book all the way through, because it's a novella and it's only like 60 something pages. I'm not going to give it a rating because it's only a novella. It's like a filler story, but it was good. I did enjoy it. I thought it was so cute and stuff. So with my notes here from what I got is this was pretty much all in Millie's POV from chapter 1 to 11. The epilogue was in Enzo's POV. So the whole story is basically their wedding day, which is so cute. It starts off with her getting a threatening phone call, and then her dress doesn't fit, so he goes and gets that sorted for her. He pulls through, the tailor comes and brings her the dress. Then there's her parents that were meant to come, and then were like, it's a mistake, we're not coming. You know, you're just, I don't know, they weren't very nice. When they were talking to her, they were like, we thought you could change, but you really can't. And then Enzo took the phone and he was like having a go at them. And then the mum had told him, like, you know, you're probably going to end up dying with her. It's just the way it is. She's dangerous, you know. And Enzo ended that call with well, we don't need you in our life or our baby's life. Because she is pregnant as well. That's so cute. Which is why the dress didn't fit, because it wouldn't fit over her pregnancy belly. Which is so adorable. So she's still getting threatening calls, which is freaking her out. And then they're at the courthouse. She thinks she found the guy. It turns out it was actually a brother to one of the other women she has helped before. That was so cute. It was so nice to see that. I don't know. It was nice to see that she was kind of recognised for that still. And I loved it. I thought it was so adorable. He actually ended up being their witness because obviously her parents didn't come. I love how they were trying to rattle off baby names the whole time, and then she ends up saying, like, maybe we could call her something for your sister, like not Antonia, but maybe like, I don't know, Alison or Ada. So that was really cute. And then I don't know, it was really nice that in the end bit, Enzo kind of, he may not know that this guy was already threatening Millie, but he kind of like, he noticed the guy following them, and then the guy said, it was basically the guy that was threatening her. And then Enzo kind of threatened him and was like, you need to stay away, kind of thing. So that was kind of cute too. But it was just funny that it was the same dude. And he's like, I'm not going to tell her. She doesn't need the stress. And the whole book, she's like, I'm not going to tell him because he doesn't need the stress right now. We want to get married. So I thought that was kind of funny how they were both trying to protect each other. But yeah, it was the same dude for both of them. Funny. But yeah, so overall, I really did enjoy it. I thought it was a really great, cute little filler. Obviously it is a novella, so I'm not really gonna like star it or anything because it was only a little novella, like this little short. Anything probably under 200 pages doesn't count as like a full book. It's more of a novella. And this was super fun to read in the middle. I obviously am now going to move on to The Housemaid is Watching, so I'm super excited. Just from looking at the back, it does say I used to clean people's houses, now I have one of my own. So we're still following Millie, but I think, I don't know, they have a house, they're living in I have one of my own, the charming kitchen, the quiet cul-de-sac, the huge yard where my kids can play, my husband and I work hard for this life. When our neighbours invite us to dinner, the maid opens the door, looking at her white apron and neat hair, it's looking like in the mirror. I know exactly what it's like to be in her shoes, but the cold stare, she gives me chills. It's not the only strange thing. I see a shadowy figure watching us. My husband leaves the house late at night, and one woman's words chill me to the bone. Be careful of your neighbours. I thought I'd left my darkest secrets behind, but could this quiet street be the most dangerous place of all? So I'm guessing now that Millie has a house of her own in a good neighborhood, and her and Enzo are living there as an actual family and not working. I don't know, this feels weird. Why does it say that he goes out late at night? He's not cheating, is he? I hope not. So I am intrigued. Obviously I have no idea what's happening, so I'm gonna get so excited to read this one. I feel like I'm not gonna want to put it down either. It's gonna be crazy for me, I think. But yeah, so let's get into this one and we'll see how it goes. Please don't mind the mess behind me. I'm trying the camera at a different angle. I'm hoping it's kind of straight. Yeah, I guess this is as good as it's gonna get. You can see my bookshelf over there. So I have caught up on the first 20 or so chapters, 21 give or take, of The Housemaid is watching. So from where I'm seeing right now, I'm finding it so cute that she's moved back to Long Island. It's like kind of like where her story began. It's so cute that she went back there. Part 1 is completely, from what I can tell, in Millie's POV from where I am right now. And it's kind of like set 11 years later. So her daughter that she was pregnant with in the wedding is 11, and she has a son. So her daughter's called Ada and her son is Nico, which is short for Nicholas. That's kind of cute. I feel like that's really adorable. It was nice that she has 2 neighbours in the cul-de-sac. On one side they seem kind of, I don't know, there's something off about them entirely. I don't like this Sizek woman, lady, whatever you want to call her. Like, she does not, no, I'm not feeling it with her. But then Janice, the other one, I don't know, I'm not feeling it with her either. So I just feel like there's something going on for sure. And Enzo is acting really strange. Yeah, no more needs to be said on that one. And then like this maid thing. So why would he hire a maid and not tell her? I feel like that's definitely a conversation you want to have with your wife. No. Yeah, I hired the maid, just so you know. No? Okay. Then you give her the key to the house. Who then is sniffing through your stuff? And when she says like, oh, I don't appreciate being treated like a criminal, the way she talks to Millie is a bit like down her nose still. Like, that's a bit rude. But I'm really happy that Millie got her social worker degree. She's a social worker at a hospital. Like, that's all really great. That's a big step for her, and it's nice to see that she's still helping people, but not like she was before. Like, she's actually just helping people at the hospital. So that's really nice. The book so far has given me like really bad vibes with Enzo right now. Like, it's given like he's gonna cheat vibes. Why is he chilling so much with the woman next door? That's weird. And why would you go over there at 10 o'clock at night? That's weird. So yeah, no, we're not feeling so good. We are a quarter of the way through, first quarter. And so far, I'm not sure, things aren't feeling so great. I'm so glad you can't see the cat over there. That little box there, by the way, guys, is actually Darren's bookshelf that I bought for him for Christmas. And then like kind of like further behind is like more Christmassy stuff that I've got in book piles, because I've got piles of books. I don't put any book on the shelf unless it's already read. I don't like getting confused on what's been read and what hasn't. But yeah, so far where I am just hella confused on what's happening. The only thing I really loved was how it seemed like Nico and Enzo kind of like tag teamed together and was like, let's get a praying mantis. That was kind of funny and really hilarious. So she's like, I don't want a bug in my house. The bug is in her house. And it's just the way she's so excited that she has her own home. Like, they went from a tiny little cramped apartment to this beautiful home, and how she's so happy with that. It's really cute and sweet. And I don't know, I'm a bit worried about the vibes I'm getting. Obviously, it's a Frida book. I'm hoping that my vibes are incorrect, because I have been wrong about some of the other things that I thought about some of the other books. But so far, I'm really worried about these vibes. They're not giving good vibes. Like, it's not giving me great vibes. So that's where I'm at now on the quarter part of the book, on my thoughts and reactions. we're gonna come back to the halfway mark. Pardon me, sorry. When I get there, that is, I'm about to read that now. So yeah, let's see. Hi everyone, so we're at like the halfway mark now with The Housemaid is Watching, and wow, honestly I wasn't even sure like how I feel reading this. I feel like I'm getting a lot of moments. Like I feel like, okay, so there's a secret door in the house and they seal it over again, but the fact is I don't know, why was it in the house to begin with? That's a bit weird. Or like, are we just getting like these random things in there to throw us off the real scent? Like, are we meant to think there's someone in the house? Because she kept hearing the door open and closing. So are we meant to think that there's someone in their house this like at night and stuff? Is that how this is? And there isn't. Like that's not what's really going on. It really is just the son that found it and just been going in and out. Yeah. So I've like, well, I've like severely missed something. Could be that. Honestly, these set attractors have got me so confused. Is Enzo cheating? Is he not? What the earth is going on? I have no idea. And the maid. Yeah, and the maid. Why does she steal? Why was she snooping in drawers? Why was she making a big thing about the criminal thing? Honestly, I'm starting to like feel like Enzo is different now than what he's been in like book one, and I'm not sure, it feels like, it really strongly feels like it's cheating. I really hope that isn't the case. I do know that Freedom of Hadden likes to have a little twist in there. I hope the main twist in this is that he really isn't cheating. But I noticed the son Nico as well, he's changed. Like he's not acting the same way. Like he's become really like closed off and reclusive, and that's just, yeah, no. But I do like that he, even though he got in a fight, I do like that he was defending another girl, like one of the young girls. That was nice. Yeah, like I remember in the beginning where the little boy Nico was, well, Nico was like happy and chipper, and now he's not. Like a very different withdrawn child. Someone that works in childcare, those signs aren't normally good for kids, especially of 9 years old. I hope that's not what happens either, because that will really upset me, I'm sure. When I say that, I got that part of it, but it upset me that that was what it's from. I'm happy I've got something in there. Well, yeah, like this whole set just really got me super confused. Like, I have no idea what's going on. I really is starting to feel a bit more like Enzo is cheating. He better not be. And also that Suzette, which is the neighbour, her husband was found dead. What the hell? That doesn't make sense. Like, honestly, I'm so baffled on what's going on. Like, okay, so how did this happen? What's going on? Yeah, so I'm actually super eager to read the next set to put me at that third quarter way through. And then I probably will be like, oh, I need to go sleep after this because it's emotional. Okay, like just the fact that you feel everything that minute. So I'm pretty sure I said earlier on that it was third person. I don't know why I said that. It is first person. And because it's so far all been in Millie's POV, it's really been like, I can feel everything she's feeling. And she's a very emotional person. So it's like I can feel those emotions as I read them, and it's so, yeah. So hopefully the next set we get some answers, especially with the husband thing, because that really threw me off. Wasn't expecting that there would be a dead husband on the floor. Especially when she's going to look for her own husband. Wasn't expecting. So let's read the next set and see what happens. Okay guys, so I am now 3/4 of the way through. I only have like a little quarter left to go. Just to point out that I will not be reading anymore this evening because I feel emotionally wrecked. Like, not just emotionally, but like fully wrecked. My brain is just not functioning. So, where I'm at now, honestly, throughout reading these chapters, my thoughts were like, did he kill Jonathan? Did Enzo kill Jonathan? But there's no reason for him to kill him. And none of that made sense. Honestly, I was getting really like, oh my gosh, what? I spent most of the time trying to figure out myself. Like, I felt so confused. I know that they were having money problems, obviously, because they've been talking about that. But I did love how we had Cecilia back, or Cece, from book 1. It kind of like, it felt more like a roundabout circle that they brought her back in as his public defender. That was so amazing. I know for a while, I was still worried a bit about like the whole cheating thing, because I mean the detective made it sound very convincing, especially with like he took out all that money and stuff. But it turns out he was actually helping the maid, which makes more sense to me because, you know, that's what they did before. They helped people that needed them. So it made sense that when he saw that Martha had had bruises on her, that he would try help her. So that made a lot of sense. So I'm kind of glad that there was no cheating. Well, as far as we know, there's still no cheating. I kind of love that we got some of his past, that he worked for like a mobster, and like it's taken him ages to kind of open up about that part, like where she was like, well, how do you get money from people then? And he was like, you break fingers. She's like, So like she's adamant that he would never hurt anyone, not unless he really needed to. What is going on with my hair? Anyway, she's like super adamant, and he probably wouldn't hurt anyone unless he really needed to. But the police searched the house, found the murder weapon, and then come back to arrest him, and he then admitted that he killed him. Like, he killed Jonathan, he said. But when she was thinking about it, she was like, well, he never told me the truth about his past. And I feel like he lied to me. He didn't lie, okay? He just was ashamed of that side of his life. She told him about her little prison stay and stuff. I get that. She might feel a bit betrayed about that. But the truth is, if he wasn't ready to open up yet, you can't force that. So I felt bad for him for there. But then that he killed Jonathan, and then part 3, from what I can tell, I only read one chapter in there. It's in Ada's POV, which is actually their 11-year-old daughter, and she just admitted that she killed the neighbour as well. So that's literally where I've just ended off, as like literally the first chapter in her part, and it was like, I killed him. And then she mentions about, in her chapter, how she talks about when they brought home her brother, and how she remembers that she held him and that she put her finger in his mouth, and then he started to suck on it. She was like, oh, I love you, Nico. So I don't know, it was really cute seeing that. And then like how she felt that she didn't want to move, and she knew that it wouldn't go well for her. Like, she knew that where at the time she's moving during the year, it's just not gonna, yeah, she doesn't want that. So it was nice to see her feelings. It's probably hard to capture feelings of an 11-year-old. So I got good praise for that. That's hats off to you. I don't think I'll be able to write as an adult for an 11-year-old. So there you go. And that's literally the last bit that we were at, was literally just there where she was like, where she told her little brother that she loved him when the day he came home. And now I want to read more, but I don't, because I'm so tired, and I feel like if I don't sleep now, I won't be. So that is the plan for tomorrow, is to read the last set, put together my final thoughts, and then, you know, tell you guys my final thoughts. That won't take me long to figure out my final thoughts on all of it. So yeah, I'm so sorry this video is so long-winded. We've at least got another set of chapters and my final thoughts, which could be another 10 minutes on top. So thank you guys for sticking around. Okay, I have officially finished The Housemaid is Watching, and oh my god. So I have got notes here which I'm gonna, like, my thoughts. So from where we left off, we saw that, you know, we're on Ada's POV, And oh my gosh, I just love the way she loves like her mum, her dad, and even Nico, like how protective she is. I did not see it coming as she's the one that, I mean, she didn't kill the guy. Okay, so she didn't actually kill the neighbor either, by the way. She just stabbed him in the gut and then ran away. But it was bugging me for a while that no one had mentioned no one mentioned about the slit throat. I'm glad at the end we found out that it was actually the Martha, the housemaid. But like, I loved how Enzo was so quick to try and defend her. Like, he was like, oh, I did it, just so that she wouldn't get in trouble. I loved that. I loved the fact that he was like willing to go to prison for her, even though she didn't actually kill him like that in the end. She just stabs him in the gut. And then I noticed that they kept bringing up that missing boy, which was getting a bit weird, but then it makes sense about why, because of like Jonathan. And I'm not sure, like, I started feeling like it was getting to kind of like something similar to that at one point. I did mention it to Darren. I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is what's going on. And then he was just like, like, he doesn't care, really. I wrote all theories after him. He doesn't care. He's just sitting there listening to me. But I was slightly shocked. But then I wasn't at the same time. Like, it made sense. And then, like, even with, like, the wife, like, it was pretty obvious she knew. Because at the point she saw, like, Millie saw Nico talking to Suzette, so it was kind of obvious something was going on. What was going on, I wasn't expecting. Honestly, this book had me like, oh my gosh, so many times. Like, literally, that's all I was saying, so much that even Darren was like, oh my gosh, because I kept saying it. I really did enjoy it. This, for me, I feel like is a 4.75 star. So I gave it that because this book had me well on edge. I was so invested that I couldn't put it down. And then when I did put it down, I was like, I still want to know what's happening. Like, what's going to happen? Like, yeah. So I'm so glad I got to finish it. And I'm so glad I read this series. I literally have put together all my final thoughts for you guys. So let's start with, obviously, book 1. Sorry, I have all of them here. Okay, so with book 1, I'm still at the 4.5 star with this one. I did enjoy it. It was the perfect start to the series. I loved how book 3 and like connected book 1 and 2 in it with like Cecilia and even mention of Nina at the end, and the detective is the same one from book 2. That was, I loved that little kind of thing. Yeah, I still give this 4.5. I still enjoyed it. Yeah, it's still good. I still liked it. And then with book 2, I gave book 2 a 4.5 as well. I really loved this one as well. It was like the perfect carry on, and I just loved seeing like that, how Millie was willing to do anything for a woman that she felt needed her. So this is still a 4.5 as well. Obviously, I didn't rate this one because it is a novella, but I still did love this one, how they fill it in between. It was just great to see the wedding. It was really cute and it was nice. And she was pregnant with Ada at the time as well, so that was even nicer too. But I still did enjoy this. It was the perfect filler for the like in between the series. And then, obviously, I really did like this one. I don't think my rating would have changed even if I came away and came back. It would still be a 4.75. I really did enjoy this. It just had me, it was like the perfect end to the series. It was just, yeah, unexpected and had me more on the seat. Like, this felt like it had more of a wild ride than the other two did. And I felt like I was holding on to a roller coaster that just kept plummeting. And I don't even like roller coasters, so that's something. So yeah, I was hanging on for dear life, and yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So that's it, really. I think that's literally it for my first reading vlog. I would love to know if you guys want to see more. Hopefully you do, because I've got a few others in mind anyway. maybe next time in parts so they're not so long. Like maybe we'll do them to like 2 or 3 books if I've got like a series or whatever. But yeah, so overall it would be great to hear what you guys think. Yeah, so that's it. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.